Africa, welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Booley. We're live on SABC3, ready to inform and entertain you.
Indeed, good afternoon. My name is Danilo Acquisto and welcome to an inspirational Tuesday. And I'm always loving this day on Afternoon Express. It's one of my favorite times to be on air and to be in your living rooms. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today, in our Inspirational Tuesday, we're celebrating South Africans who are doing amazing things in and around the communities and in their own unique way. It's going to be some incredible stories. First up, we've got Brent, Lindeque joining us in the loft. And if you ever heard of those sort of neck nominations, and then there was this guy who did rack nominations, there's all of this random acts of kindness that people were doing. This is the guy behind it. He's done so much since then, and I can't wait to share all the stories with you on air.
Yeah, and then later on, we'll be chatting to portrait artist Marie Stander, who's releasing her second book of artwork to raise funds for her community in Jamestown, Stellenbosch. We're also giving away a copy of the book, so if you're an art lover, keep your phone handy.
And February was also a big month for us on Afternoon Express. We're going on this exciting collaboration with Diners Club. We've got the MD in our loft today, and we're going to be sharing some more news about that collaboration that we're going on. Plus, if you were one of our winners who won in February, we'll be taking you on a little journey around that experience and how absolutely amazing it was. It's not just Bonnie and myself in the loft today. We're very excited to have Jeannie back.
Thank you, my lovelies, and hello, South Africa. Today, we are getting deliciously decadent in this kitchen. We've got the fantastic Nathan Jacobs from one of my very favorite, the 12 Apostles Hotel in Cape Town, and you are going to be making some very tasty treats for us today.
Yes.
Where and what and how? Tell me everything.
Okay, so we're going to make a yogurt panna cotta with mango jelly and a coconut whipped ganache, and then we'll garnish it with some fresh mango and some chocolate pills.
Okay, great. Should we get started?
Yes, we can.
No, we're going to get started a little bit. Okay, first of all, our recipe is going to be on the website. That's afternoonexpress.co.za, and all of this will be there. I actually don't even know what to do with myself. I'm just having all this sugar excitement. Today's going to be glorious, but first, Danilo's on our couch with our very first guest.
Jeannie, you remind me of that kid at school who was always the first kid back in Keen Bean, ready to rock and roll. So it's good to have you back in the loft with us today. This next guest, he lives by the motto, change one thing and change everything. And that is exactly what he did when he turned an online drinking game called Neck Nominations on its head by using his nomination to instead perform a random act of kindness, unaware that people across the world would adopt this new concept. These days, he has his own radio show and website called The Good Things Guy, where he shares interesting and inspiring stories of people who are making a positive difference in South Africa as well as around the globe. Joining us in the loft is Brent Lindeque, and it's very cool to meet the man behind these projects. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So, Brent, are you that positive guy who's always around smiling?
You know what? They call me the good news guy or the good things guy, and I literally am. I live by those mottos. I carry it around. The positivity is really inside of me.
Yeah, cool. Let's before we even begin on sort of the journey that you've been on digitally and all these campaigns that you've run. I mean, you've been put up against some great awards. I mean, tell us about some of those achievements you've received.
In the time that from Neck Nominations, when that happened, I got given a Lead Essay Hero Award, which was pretty cool to be part of that alumni. Mail and Guardian said that I was one of the top 200 young South Africans, busy holding that flag. And then also one of the top 10 social entrepreneurs to follow on social media.
Hey.
I don't know what that means, but they did give me that award.
Digital is hard to get involved with. I mean, it's something that is always so unpredictable. Everyone's trying to do it and get excited about it. So I've always wondered whether this was something that was just a digital campaign that you were trying to make go viral. But clearly it wasn't. It was part of your lifestyle from the beginning. So talk us through that journey, seeing these Neck Nominations and then saying, hey, listen, I don't want to do that no more.
I think off the bat, you can never plan to go viral. You could only plan to sort of do something awesome and then hope. And I never thought that I would. When that happened 3 years ago, it was a silly thing that was going around the world, that people were downing alcohol and nominating other people to do the same. And when I first heard about it, two things went through my mind. The first, if you drink alcohol and you dare people to do stuff, it's bound to end badly. Like that's the way it's going to roll. The second, and I think it's something that South Africa's definitely learned this year, we can all be a little bit more responsible with what we put online. 10 years from now, when you're searching for a job and your boss Googles you and you're upside down drinking vodka, that's a different story.
Yes, absolutely.
You might not get the job. So when that all happened, I got nominated. And I thought at the time I could either do nothing and then nothing would have changed, or I could try to change one thing, which is sort of what I've learned to live by. Change one thing, change everything. And I went through, I bought someone a sandwich. I found someone in need, a homeless person, that I could give that sandwich to. I did. It's South Africa. We have homeless people on every corner. So I recorded it, put it online, and it went viral.
Sure. within a matter of hours, it went viral. And I mean, that was flipping exciting. What do you think it was? How did your networks then get out so far? How did it reach so many people? Because I mean, apparently around the world, there's millions of people that have seen this and nominated each other, and it's a global campaign now.
I think it was right time, right place. It was the right time for that to happen. The same day, there was in the newspapers in Ireland 2 men that had passed away from neck nominations. So they picked up on somebody that was doing something positive. And when I put the video up, I actually said, watch how South African does it better, because we do. And it picked up so quickly. Within a couple of minutes, the video had 301 views, and I was blown away.
Yeah, you were like, yes!
I didn't even have
Nailed it.
301 Facebook friends.
This is the video I think that got those 300 views initially.
Correct. And what I didn't know is YouTube vets the videos when things start going viral.
Yes.
And 2 hours later, it was sitting at 10,000 views. The next day, 100,000 views, and all these international networks were phoning me to do interviews.
Amazing, dude. So it's really exciting to see that happen for you, particularly because now you've taken that and you've built, like, sort of, not a business, but a brand around it. So before we get into all your new projects, change one thing, change everything. Is that just an idea in your mind, or is that something you're actively working on?
That's something that I'm working on, and I think I was thrust into that space, and I've become a catalyst for it.
Yeah.
I didn't plan it, but back then, you're only given 15 minutes, whatever they are. My video went viral, which was great. What do I do next? So I decided a couple of things. One, I would kick it off every year to try and inspire people to do good, and it's now called Random Acts of Kindness, which is RAC.
Yes.
And then also, I'll use whatever platform I have to inspire others and share good news. I think that's what the world could use more of.
Sure, man. And I think that's exactly what it is. So we want to come and find these platforms and get a little dose, because if you scroll through your social media feed at the moment, it's just negative, negative, negative. It's stories of people doing silly things with their lives, which make people laugh. And so those things go viral. So let's talk about those platforms. First of all, Good Things Guy, the website.
Good Things Guy. So it was about mid last year. It was exactly what you were saying. My social media feed was just filled with negativity. People love sharing bad news, for whatever reason that is. And I decided that I didn't want to share bad news anymore. I'd rather find bad news and get people to read it on my social media and hopefully share it. So I started a little South
You mean
African
find good
page.
news, I hope you mean.
Good news,
Yes,
sorry.
I
Good,
was
no
about to
bad
say,
news,
what?
no bad news. So I started a little Facebook page called South African, because I
Yes.
believe that we can, and that quickly gained traction. One of the first stories that I put up reached over 2 million people in the space of 3 weeks. And it's just people sharing good content. From that, I built an online magazine, which is called goodthingsguy.com.
Oh, dude, it's absolutely amazing. I think it's exciting to see you do, and you building these platforms around you. I mean, I got a chance to interview on my radio show not too long ago when you were doing amazing work, and I think both of us have got this idea of just spreading positive stories, letting young people feel like there is actually hope and inspiring things out there for them. So I know RAC is going to continue on this year, right? What is
Yes.
expected? What can we do?
So I kicked off RAC 16 on the 1st of Feb, and this year I decided to do 2 things differently. One, I wanted to take it away from the social media side, because like my mom might be on Facebook, but she's not on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
So she might not
My
know
mom is.
So she might not know what's going on the social media side the way that the youngsters do, but I want them to experience it as well. So I created a space on the website to create something called a paid forward card, where you could literally create a card to say, I'm going to buy you lunch. You leave that card with the lunch, and then it's able to live in the real world.
Oh, my word.
Which I thought was important. It's something that I learned. And then also, in the 3-year process, there's been a lot of people who have said, I want to give books to this charity or do something. So I've created a little eventing space where you can list what you need. I call it a dating site for charities. You basically put up there what you want to give away or what you want to get involved in, and people are able to connect.
Man, so websites, Twitter, like sort of campaigns. You've got your own radio show. You're on TV doing a segment all about positivity. So I'm sure you must have met some amazing people in that journey. And after the break, I'm sure we'll be chatting more about those, right?
I'm excited to tell you about them.
Well, you're always excited. You're the Good Things Guy. You have to be. After the break, South Africa, we're making a yogurt panna cotta with coconut whipped ganache. And we're on the couch back with Brent Lindeque. I'm just going Brent Lindeque. Brent Lindeque to focus our attention on specific South Africans who are making a positive difference in their communities. Don't go anywhere.
Five Roses blends only the top 2 leaves of the finest Ceylon teas. Because nobody makes better tea than you and Five Roses.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So we are getting cooking in this kitchen, well actually baking, with Chef Nathan Jacobs, and we're going to be making a delicious yogurt panna cotta with mango jelly and coconut whipped ganache.
Yes.
It sounds almost as good as I hope it tastes. So how do we get started?
So to start off, we're going to take our mango jelly that we've made, and just to get an effect, you know, a different look to a panna cotta, we're going to just stick it onto the glass.
That's so cute.
So this will obviously, you'll see it through the glass.
Exactly. All of them, so bigger and smaller.
Big and small ones, yes.
All right, and you can make any shapes, hey?
Any shapes you want, yeah.
Okay, that's sweet.
So just going to stick that in.
And this is just normal jelly?
It's a normal jelly. It's just mango puree or mango juice with sugar, salati sugar, and gelatin.
Okay, fantastic.
So, yes. And
Yummy.
then the next thing is we're going to put our cream on the stove. We're going to add our milk. Right?
Yeah.
Add our milk and our caster sugar.
Okay, excellent.
So we're just going to bring this up to the boil.
And of course, the salati caster snow does dissolve quicker, so it's easier to bake with.
Yes,
eh?
it does. So we're just going to bring this to the boil quickly. And while that's heating up, we're going to just take our gelatin sheets, and this is what will set the panna cotta. So we'll place this in ice water,
Yeah?
and once it softens, just squeeze it out, and then we'll add it to the warm liquid.
That
Right,
is
so-
amazing. What does
so
that actually turn into? Just like
It turns into
gooey gelatine, like that?
very soft, soft gelatine.
Oh, wow.
So once that comes to the boil, which we should be close.
This is almost like science. It's not even cooking anymore. And then that's got to get boiling, and then...
Just before it boils, it doesn't have to be piping hot, just till it's hot enough to melt the gelatin.
Okay,
So-
I'm actually fascinated with how this is going to turn out.
So we'll,
Clearly, I'm not an old hand in the kitchen since I've never seen this done before.
so we'll add it and just stir it up till it melts a bit.
And what consistency are you hoping for?
A soft, creamy consistency.
Okay.
So
And
it
is
should
that what a
just-
panna cotta is?
Yes, it should just
Oh.
melt in your mouth.
I didn't imagine it to be like that. I thought it was like an ice cream kind of cheesy thing.
So the gelatin is melted, so we'll just turn off our heat, and then the final thing we'll add is our yogurt.
Lovely.
So we'll add our yogurt in, and just plain yogurt, Bulgarian yogurt or...
Yeah, that's the best.
So just stir that in, and that's
Yeah.
it. So before you can add it to your glass, you need to cool it to about 20 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, your jelly will melt
Exactly.
before you can add. So we'll add that to the dish, and that's how you do it. And then
That's
we'll get
us for step one.
Yes, that's step one, and then we'll get to decorating and assembling the dish.
Okay, thank you so much. This is completely fascinating. We're basically making science in the kitchen today. If you too would like to be able to make this fantastic dessert, it's clearly not as difficult as what I was anticipating it to be, but be sure to visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, because there you will find an easy to read and easy to follow recipe, as well as all of these ingredients that you need to get so that you'll be able to buy and to make exactly this. But right now, though, we've got Danilo on our couch with our previous guest.
Indeed. So it's an inspirational Tuesday right here on our show. We're back on the couch with the Good Things guy, Brent Lindeque, who's brought along a list of incredible South Africans that he's had the honor of interviewing, who are inspirational change makers in their communities, and he's kind of taken their stories, loaded them on their website. And so I think it's important that we honor these people because there aren't many of these stories being shared around. And so I'd like to start with somebody by the name of Ruby Chikwiri.
Yeah, so Ruby, I met her last year, but her project actually started 2 years ago when she was 17 in matric. And she realized as a privileged girl that she was able to afford certain luxuries that other people might not. So she started a sanitary pad drive that she did in her matric year while she was studying. That year, she was able to raise the craziest amounts of sanitary pads that she got to give away to disadvantaged girls. At the time, I didn't even know it was a problem in South Africa.
Exactly. And also as a guy, how would you know?
Never, ever. But when I met her, you realize that some of these girls in school miss months if you calculate the time that they're not going to school because of their monthly friends. So she's taken it upon herself, and every year It just gets bigger. I was privileged enough to go and deliver some of the sanitary pads with her last year to one of the schools.
And to see the faces of the girls light up, because it is such a big thing for them, and it's an embarrassing space, it's a vulnerable space for them, to have you kind of break that open is awesome.
And actually it's not, because
Exactly.
they totally go, we need this and you're giving to us, and that's cool. And it was an amazing thing to be part of.
And Bokang Mosai, tell us his story.
I call him South Africa's kid president.
Okay.
He's 8 years old and he dresses up in a little suit and he's just the most phenomenal
He's awesome,
kid. He's
yes.
really cool. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor a couple of years ago, and on the way to the hospital, he saw a bunch of homeless people, and to think that an 8-year-old realized that for that realization to kick in is weird, because kids normally just want to play cars.
Yes,
They're not
exactly,
really looking around and realizing these things. And he decided to do a blanket drive, which again, he does every year. He survived the brain tumor, he had it removed, and he's on a goal now just to help the homeless. He gets hold of his schools and people in his community, and every year for winter, he does a massive, massive blanket drive.
So it's proved that it doesn't take age or doesn't take a lot of wisdom to build a really positive and good heart. I mean, this kid is young.
Our kid president is going to be president one day.
Exactly. Let's hope so.
Children of the future, and I believe, totally, he's going to do amazing things.
Sure.
If he's doing that at 8, just imagine when he's 20, 30, 40. It's going to be amazing.
Well, no pressure for our next one. Andy Lowton.
Andy Lowton is from Somerset West, and he decided to give back to his community by giving dignity back. His idea, he runs a food bank, and he decided that he didn't just want to hand over food, he wanted to give the guys their dignity back. So he created a bartering system where the homeless and the needy would come in the morning, and he would give them numbered plastic bags, and they would go and clean up Somerset West. They would go clean the rubbish, they would clean up their neighborhoods, and they came back with the bags as a bartering system.
Yes.
1 bag would get you lunch, 2 bags would get you a jersey, 3 bags would get you a blanket, and it's still going today. Again, that's like a 3-year project that just keeps growing.
Yo, man, so people are coming up with some really interesting and creative stories. Pilani Dladla?
He is the street librarian, the street book reviewer.
Yes,
He
I
is
love this.
absolutely phenomenal. I got to meet him. He brains, he's intelligent, he matriculated, but there's no jobs, and he couldn't find a job. So he decided to use his own opportunity. He loves books, he loves reading. He would stand on the street corners and give people little bios of the books and tell them what's good to read, what's not good to read, and he asks a donation in return. He's actually written a book since then, which is pretty exciting.
Word. And can we obviously donate books to him, and then he can try and get those out, which is awesome. So all these projects you can get involved with in some way or form. And the loving thing about these projects is that they're also personal to each individual that started them. I mean, you know, sanitary pads or something so close to her heart. This is a guy who loves to read, you know. It's really inspiring to see. Next story is also exactly the same. Oscar from Emity, who I had the honor of meeting too, has his own disabilities, which people might perceive as a disability, but he's decided to turn that on its head.
Totally. So his actual disease that he's been diagnosed with, there's only 2 recorded people in the world that have the same disease. Genetically, his dwarfism is part of it, but it affects all his body parts.
Yes, I'm
he
sure.
died on a hospital table. They brought him back to life, and since then he's become an inspirational speaker and a hip-hop dancer.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Yes.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
He's on his own TV. He's got a TV, like appearing in TV shows. He's living his life.
I met him and I got to sit with him, and I literally walked out more inspired than I've ever been, because here's this kid who's just gone, actually, no. He goes to schools, and one of his main talks that he does is about my normal is not your normal, but everybody's got a different normal. And he tries to teach that within South Africa, which I think is really important.
Dude, and all of these, obviously, these stories are available on your website, right?
They're on my website. I dig deep and I try to find these inspirational stories. It's things that people share, that they want to read, they just don't know about it.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you, you've met so many inspiring people, lots of positive stories. First of all, is it draining? And second of all, what is the one message you've learned from all these stories you've learned? What is the thing that we need as a nation?
So first of all, no, it's not draining. I think I feed off other people's energy, and to get inspired by people is what inspires me to keep going. The second thing that I've learned along this journey and meeting all these amazing people, it's about action. It's about execution. If you have an idea, if you have a concept, if you want to change one thing, get up and do it. There's a difference between doing something and talking about it, and I think that's what all these people that I've brought the stories of, they've done something. They've made that
Yes,
change.
they went out there and they did it. Love is an action, not a word.
That's
it's an
what they
action.
say, right?
That's what they say. So, Brent, it's an honor to have you in our loft with us today, and I hope the rest of South Africans can go and check out the website goodthingsguy.com. Is it com or
.com.
.com, and go check out all the amazing stories. Find them on the social media sites and continue to share this positivity around the country. Now, after the break, we're on the couch with the amazing portrait artist Marie Stander, who is releasing her second book of artwork to raise money for education in her home of Jamestown. We'll also be giving away a copy of this incredible book, so stay right where you are and keep your phones handy.
Fresh Pack. Goodness comes naturally.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express live on SABC3. Lovely to have you back with us. Now, Marie Stander is a fine artist living in Jamestown, outside Stellenbosch. The daily lives of the people of the small community have become the inspiration of her large, life-size charcoal portrait work. Every year, she and the students from her art school raise funds through their annual charity auction to assist over 30 educational institutions in need from Jamestown and surrounding areas. With her is Principal Bernard Williams from Lindeque Primary School in Jamestown. Welcome to the loft. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
I was paging through your book earlier. The portraits are absolutely astounding.
Oh, great.
And I can only imagine that the people from the community kind of see themselves in a different light when they see them. How have their reactions been?
It's extremely, they're very honoured. They love coming into my studio to come and see. They always say, mevrou teken 'n mooi prentjie, mevrou het 'n mooi foto van my geneem. I don't think they realise that I've actually drawn it, but they love visiting the studio and they love coming in. And I think it's sort of an honourable thing for them if I've chosen to draw them. And it just elevates them a little bit, I think. They love being my models.
Yeah. And how did this idea come about? And where did you get this need to raise funds through your artwork when you could have just sold it for lots of money?
You know what, I think if you've got a talent, and I think we all do have talents, I think you need to use it. And I mean, the only talent I probably have a little bit is creating and drawing. And I just thought, you know, I draw these beautiful people. They're in so much need.
Yeah.
So let's create a platform where we can sell the work and then sort of put it back into the community. So, yeah, we've created this incredible auction that we do once a year. And it raises so much funds, and it all goes back to underprivileged children in a sort of an educational capacity.
Oh, that's absolutely incredible. And Bernard, so how would you say, what are the daily needs of the people in Jamestown?
Okay, the community we serve is not only the community of Jamestown, but also the communities living on the surrounding farms, small holdings, and there's about 2 informal settlements in Jamestown. So there's lots of challenges for them. Challenges like poverty, shortage of jobs. Lots of them depend on social grants, socioeconomic problems. Let's say there's also some single parenthood. Lots of the children stay with their grandparents and no recreational facilities and so on.
Right. And how have the contributions that the students, along with Marie, have contributed to the community helped?
Definitely a lot, because every time we are invited to apply for funds from Marie Standers and the students' funds, and we use that to get hold of instruments for music, also for certain projects like the school hall that we built. And we also use the funds to help other students to maybe get into fine arts and so.
Right, right. Marie, how do you actually raise the funds? Do you sell the artwork to art lovers outside of the community? And where does this happen? Where do you facilitate this?
Basically, our huge big fundraiser is the art auction, which we've started in 2001. We have it at the beautiful Marathi Wine Farm. It's a huge social event now. Since 2001 now, people fight to get tickets for this show. I make a work. I've got 70 students. They all produce work. We're usually about 40 that created a piece. And with evening that's filled with music and song and food, we have the auction, and it's a very informal event. It's beautiful. This year we have it on the 16th of March again. And yeah, the auctioneer auctions these works up, and some goes for very affordable and wonderful prices, some goes for sky high. And then when we do get the work, we actually, the money, we actually then plough it back into the community. And it's not just in Jamestown, which is obviously a very needy town. It's all around Stellenbosch, in and outside Stellenbosch. We actually man the whole project also. So after the auction, we basically send out emails to all the schools to hear whether there's any need, what need there is, and then we actually do the funding if we think it's viable.
You say they're life-size portraits. I mean, how tall are we talking? Like about a metre and a half?
Well, 1.5 meters to 2 meters high. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge scale. I love working big because I think the confrontational value of the work then just becomes so much more extensive.
Right,
So,
I can imagine.
It's huge amount of works, but just absolute pure joy all the way.
And I see each story of each portrait is told through the voice of a poet. Who are the poets?
Yes, now in the book what we did, we basically put 26 pieces, which I've created over 5 years together. This is my second book already. And then we've invited 26 poets through South Africa to be part of this project. We've sort of chosen very specific poets, and we've sent them an image, and they all just jumped on the bandwagon and created the absolutely most beautiful pieces that I think sort of elevates the visual to such a higher level, which is incredible. So I'm so extremely
proud.
Yeah, and also so baie dankbaar for the poets.
Yeah, well, we're very grateful to
sweet
you.
to participate in the book, in the project.
Well, we're very grateful to you for coming into the loft today and sharing your beautiful work with us. Thank you so much to you both.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
You can catch the opening of Marie's Onse Mense exhibition and book launch on March the 4th at this year's Woordfeest Festival in Stellenbosch. Plus, if you'd like to win a copy of Onse Mense, then you're in luck. Simply SMS the keyword books, your name and city to 33728 to stand a chance. SMSs cost R1.50, T's and C's apply, and are available on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. After the break, we take a look at what our Diners Club February competition winners got up to. Stay right where you are.
Five Roses blends only the top 2 leaves of the finest Ceylon teas. Because nobody makes better tea than you and Five Roses.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. As a powerful, independent woman, you deserve to indulge in life's finer pleasures. From boarding that luxury cruise you've always wanted, to skipping queues at the airport and being pampered true VIP style in a private lounge. Fortunately, there is a club that makes these kind of benefits easily accessible with the swipe of a card. At the beginning of Feb, we announced a brand new collaboration with Diners Club South Africa, which we will be running over the next 10 months. We're joined by the MD, Ebrahim Matthews, to learn more. Welcome, Ebrahim.
Thank you.
So I think it was 65 years ago, 15th of February, 1950, where Diners Club International was launched. Since then, I believe, it just changed the way we buy and sell goods and services, a complete revolution almost. But what is so unique about this card, and how can we use it?
I think the launch of Diners Club is actually quite an interesting story, so I'll start there. The founder of the business, a gentleman called Frank McNamara, was having dinner with his wife back in 1950. And when it came time to paying for the meal, realized that he had forgotten his wallet and wrote an IOU on the back of his business card. And that was basically the birth of the idea of the world's first payment card. But it's an interesting and important story because that heritage remains today. It's still in our DNA. It's core to who we are. We still are a club. We don't pretend to be all things to all people. It's quite a niche brand. It's a niche business. We focus on a very specific segment of the market. And that, again, is important because it allows us to not only provide superior levels of service, but also means that we can give our members a unique value proposition that they would not ordinarily have access to. So for all those reasons, I think it is a fairly niche business, fairly specialized, fairly unique.
And you also offer rewards programs now. So it's not just the ability to pay for a meal easily, but there's so many other things attached to it.
Offering rewards to loyal members is extremely important for us, and we offer them an array of options when it comes to loyalty programs. But core to our business is a program called Club Miles. It is revolutionary as far as we are concerned because we operate in the travel space. I mean, Diners Club is all about travel and entertainment, to be quite frank. But what Club Miles does is it takes away all of the problems people have previously experienced with other air miles programs. So two of the major complaints we've always had is that people were not able to redeem their miles on airlines because airlines have limited award seats. And a second complaint was always that airport tax often was more expensive than purchasing a ticket. And so we've eliminated both of those issues through Club Miles. You're not limited to a particular airline, so you can literally find any airline, any seat. You can use your miles to pay for airport tax, so it's a completely free ticket. Yeah, so that's Club Miles.
What else does Diners Club card do? I mean, it's not just like having a credit card. What else, what other benefits does a person have for wanting to have a Diners Club card?
So again, a lot of the benefits are centered around travel. So all the way from providing airport transfers to giving you access to more than 600 airport lounges across the globe, to giving you access to car rental status. So when you're booking car rental, you get free upgrades, you preferential queuing, all those kinds of things. Access to, through Club Miles, again, something like 50,000 accommodation and hotels, partners throughout the world. We've got things like VIP fast track through some of the world's biggest airports, and again in South Africa that is offered. So there are a number of features and benefits linked to travel.
And then there's one of my favorite events on my social calendar. Every year you host the Winemaker of the Year Awards. What does that do for your clients?
So I think it's important to maybe just take a step back and talk about the importance of the wine industry for the South African economy. Firstly, employs a large number of South Africans. We are one of the top 10 wine exporters in the world, South Africa that is. So extremely important to our balance of payments, and therefore, as I said, very important to the economy. And for Diners Club, it's important that we position ourselves as supporting this very important industry. So the Winemaker of the Year Award started in 1980, so it's in its 36th year, and is extremely important as part of our support of the industry. We celebrate excellence in winemaking, but it's not the only property we have. Through the Wine List Awards, we encourage restaurants to do brilliant kind of food and wine pairings, and we recognize excellence in wine lists. We also own the Platters Wine Guide, which is in essence the wine Bible of South Africa. And so there are a number of initiatives centered around wine, and those are not the only ones, but that we focus on to try and support and build the industry.
So we definitely are excited to join the club, but now we're collaborating and we're going to be giving our viewers the opportunity to have a little taste of the members-only experiences. What are some of those experiences?
Yeah, so Diners Club really is all about giving our members access to money can't buy experiences. And we're pretty excited about all of the prizes up for grabs. So, for example, we'd be giving some of the Afternoon Express viewers access to some of the country's best hotels, some of the finest golf courses, some of the best restaurants, and that's just a taste of things to come.
I'm looking so forward to it. Now, to give you a taste of what it's like to be part of the club, let's take a look at February's prize, where winners were treated to a night at a luxurious hotel in Joburg and lunch at the chef's table with me, prepared by two of SA's top chefs, Luke Dale Roberts and Candice Phillip.
Three lucky ladies enjoyed the company of Jeannie D, lunch prepared by a world-renowned chef, and some special treats as part of a unique Diners Club experience. The Diners Club Hotel Collection brings valuable benefits and exciting opportunities to club members traveling the world.
So as you know, Diners Club unites people from all walks of life, and I think it's an amazing club because you're exposed to these privileges that are relevant wherever you travel to. So today that brings us to the glorious Saxon, and we've got an amazing lunch with top award-winning chef Luke Dale Roberts. That's going to be spectacular. I'm pretty sure that you're all salivating already just thinking about it. I certainly cannot wait. Wow, this is fabulous!
Welcome to my villa.
Oh wow, this is amazing. Talk about true 5-star experience.
The Diners Club experience I'm most looking forward to is certainly the whiskey tasting tonight, although I think the spa would be a close second as well.
I cannot wait to meet Chef Luke Dale Roberts.
The excitement is mounting up and my stomach is hungry.
Luke Dale Roberts is one of the country's most imaginative chefs. His award-winning culinary experiences are being brought to the City of Gold. For this exciting lunch, Luke is working with Chef Candace Phillip to create a spectacular menu.
Luke, firstly, let's discuss the amazing year that you've had, with Test Kitchen being voted the Restaurant of the Year for the 4th year running, then being named 28th restaurant in the world out of 50, and then opening up the Naturalist in Woodstock, and then, of course, the collaboration with the Saxon. Do you ever sleep?
It's been a busy year. It's been a fantastic year. We've had lots of successes. We've kind of taken the best of the Test Kitchen stuff that we've done in the past. We've done some new dishes as well, specifically for the Saxon.
My dream was to meet him and to actually experience his food. I've been on the waiting list forever, so winning this competition was mind-blowing experience for me. I just wanted to grab my chef's jacket and jump in the kitchen and cook with him.
Chef Candace, what is on the menu for today?
We're going to start it off with the pea mousse. It goes with a bit of a morel truffle jelly. We have a crayfish in a concrete bowl. Into the pansier duck with some barbecue meringue, some cherries on there as well. And we're finishing off with a rhubarb and strawberry salad.
My most favorite was the duck. It was amazing.
My favorite dish was definitely the crayfish. Every bite I had was marvelous. It melted in my mouth.
Everything was a complete flavorful explosion in your mouth, right down to the pairings with the wines as well. Just got back to my villa, and guess what? An amazing surprise was a gift bag from the Saxon filled with awesome goodies.
Knowing how to pair food and wine is one thing, but it's another experience altogether pairing whiskies with complementary foods.
Marco, why is it increasing in popularity to pair food with whiskey?
Different regions of Scotland where whiskey predominantly comes from offer different characteristics, and what we're trying to do over here is bring those characteristics to the table through food elements which the chefs are offering this evening. Fatima, we have been made aware that you don't drink any alcohol. What we've done for you this evening is we've taken some freshly squeezed juices and implemented some interesting tea infusions into those, which follow exactly the same tasting profile as the whiskies do for your food pairing. The vanilla notes in the Lagavulin should pair pretty well with the natural sweetness of your scallop. There are sherry notes in the whiskey which we were hoping to pair with the orange sponge and the orange segment on your plates. And then the peaty notes were offered to pair with the ground elements on your plates, the lentils and the smoked beetroot.
And to crown it all, the mind is calmed, the body relaxed, and spirit is fully re-energized with the luxurious spa treatment, completing this once-in-a-lifetime experience from Diners Club.
After this experience, I certainly would consider being a member of the Diners Club International.
I was not fully aware of all the benefits of being a Diners Club member, so I am on board.
Definitely. If I need to gravitate towards anything of benefit, then Diners Club is my taste of preference.
So today we are officially launching the March leg of the competition, where we're giving away an experience to, wait for it, 21 lucky viewers. Now, what is the prize? How does it all work? Take a look at this.
This March, Diners Club South Africa and Afternoon Express are giving away an exclusive once-in-a-lifetime golfing experience to 21 lucky viewers at 3 of the top courses around the country. In Durban, a golf clinic with the resident golfing coach at the prestigious Zimbali Country Club. In Cape Town, a clinic with Etienne Olivier at the Steenberg Golf Estate. And in Johannesburg, a golfing clinic with top-notch golfing coach Martin Breda at the Royal Johannesburg and Kensington Golf Club. Each winner will also be treated to a luxurious lunch and golfing voucher for 2. Visit afternoonexpress.co.za/giveaways to enter. T's and C's apply and also are available on our website. You have lived, laughed, loved, achieved, received, and been rewarded. What's next? Join Diners Club now.
Another delicious recipe brought to you by Salati Sugar. Always good, always sweet.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are whipping up the final steps of our delicious yogurt panna cotta with mango jelly and coconut whipped ganache. It just sounds delicious. Okay, so what is the next step for, well, I suppose the final step?
Yeah, the final step is just decorating.
Okay.
So we're going to take our coconut whipped ganache.
Okay, and how did you make the coconut ganache?
The coconut, I just took cream and some glucose and then brought that to a boil.
Yeah.
And then poured it over the white chocolate to melt, stir to melt, and then added cream. And then you set it overnight in the fridge and just whip it in a KitchenAid.
Okay, great. But don't worry, we're going to have the recipe for the ganache on our website as well. So that's afternoonexpress.co.za. And let's go ganaching.
Yes. So you can pipe it any way you want. The way I'm going to do it is I'll just call it noodle cream.
Okay, you do one, I'll do the other.
Yes.
It's only fair if we're noodle creaming.
So
Okay.
so you see what I mean by noodle? It just looks like noodles.
There you go. Nice.
So that, and then we're just going to take our fresh mango.
I'll do this one while you do that one. There you go. I love using a piping bag, actually. I think this is most entertaining. Do I do the whole thing?
No, just kind of on the edge. You can do it however you want, though. You know, it's...
Just... Don't worry, I'll do what you're doing, okay?
Then we're going to take our little chocolate pearls and just kind of sprinkle that on however you feel.
And just there, you can go wild and be as creative as you like. That is amazing.
And then we're just going to take our edible flowers and kind of place it in between for, you know, just for some color and to break the whiteness of the dish. So.
Yeah, that is stunning. Oh, this is just fantastic. And it wasn't too difficult. I mean, this is something that you realistically can do at home. Ah, there you go. Doesn't that look absolutely gorgeous?
Perfect. And
Thank you so much, Nathan Jacobs. Look how splendid that is. We make gorgeous desserts. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to feed these to our guests.
Please enjoy.
I'm going to be right back in a second.
Stealing them from our chef, that's exactly what we like to see. Bring them over here, Jeannie. It's been such an amazing show with us on Afternoon Express today. Just such an inspiring show with great guests that we've had. Some delicious food, extravagance.
Okay, so I once tried to make desserts and coffee at home, and I made a chocolate cake that actually came out tasting like horrid coffee. So I only made 2 because I thought maybe you guys would be a guinea pig for me. I wouldn't trust much of my cooking, but
I'm sure everyone would want to taste that. It's a nice way to refill. And I must ask you guys very quickly, so Maristanda, I haven't had a chance to chat to you just yet. In terms of the inspiring stories that you go about doing, a lot of people need to fill their lives first before they can overflow and fill other people with that inspiration. What fills you?
Well, I think obviously my art, my creating, but really helping other people, being connected to people, being part of their lives and making a difference. I think it makes you really feel like a better person.
Sure. Good things, Guy. You too?
Man, I'm inspired. I'm so glad that I've connected with her. If you look on the website later, there's going to be an article over there.
Yay!
Yes.
You see, we make connections happen here on Afternoon Express. It's like a real thing that we do here.
That's absolutely brilliant. So we've got Go for it.
We want to run a competition on Afternoon Express. Obviously, we want to talk more about the fact that we can run the March edition of our Diners Club competition. And you guys can obviously enter with us right on Afternoon Express and get this extravagant experience. It is one of the most amazing things. Plus, also today, we're giving away Mariestanda's book on the show today. If you SMS the word books, your name and city to 33728, you could stand a chance to win. Those SMSs are charged at R1.50. T's and C's apply and are available on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. So enter ASAP and you could be walking away with some inspiration.
And I actually really do implore you to enter our Diners Club competition, because I did it last week, Thursday and Friday, with all of our winners, and it was amazing. It truly was such a fantastic experience. Now, also, make sure you join us again tomorrow for Afternoon Express, and tune in early, because during the first 15 minutes of the show, we're chatting to Maskandi legend Ihashi Mhlope.
Ihashi Elimhlope. It means white horse.
White horse,
There you go, the white horse.
How do you know?
And in the kitchen, we're making vanilla-infused smoked salmon with minted pea mash.
Oh, sounds so delicious. And I mean, he's such a great performer. Can't wait to have them on our show today.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's been such an honor and such an inspiration. I'm going to go home with smiles on my face, even though I'm going to go and face the traffic. And the rest of us right here on Afternoon Express, good night. Happy eating.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we're joined by Maskandi music legends Ihashi Elimhlope, who treat us to a live performance, and we chat to an inspiring couple who have written a book about their journey together through apartheid.
Another feel-good production.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Join the Afternoon Express family by subscribing to our channel right here. And we'll keep you up to date with all our recipes and of course our fabulous episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share this video. We do love it when you express yourself.